it's Miss Rachel from the William Jeans Library, and we're in our last week of April, National Poetry Month, but we still have a few more days left. And today I would like to share some really fun selections with you from a book that has concrete poems in it, and I'll tell you what that means in just a minute. It's called A Poke in the Eye, and you can see the man on the cover is poking the letter I with his umbrella. These, it's a collection, like I said, of concrete poems. They were put together in this book by Janeczko, and earlier this month I read from another book that was collected by Mr. Janeczko. This one has illustrations for each poem by Chris Raschka, and I've also showed you some of his illustrations this month. Both very talented. And I'm going to read several poems from this book with permission from the publisher, Candlewick Press. And I'm going to start by giving you a little description of concrete poems that Mr. Janeczko, is that how you say it? It's my best guess, has at the beginning of the book. Concrete poems are different from regular poems. In fact, they're a lot more playful. What are they, you ask? Well, a concrete poem can be as simple as a single word, and a word becomes a poem because of the unusual way the type is placed on the page. A concrete poem can also be a selection of words arranged in a particular shape, and that's probably the most common kind of concrete poem, where the words are all put together, and if you look at it, even if you're not reading the letters, you can see a shape of something. And you'll see one of those poems that I'm going to read for you today. Concrete poems are often hard to read aloud, although sometimes they're irresistible. They might be hard because of the shape, like you'll see with another poem that I'm going to read to you. These visually arresting poems are accompanied by Chris Raschka's stunning illustrations, which have a poetry all their own. So turn the page for a dazzling, bewitching tour of 30 concrete poems from some of the world's finest visual poets. And prepare for a poke in the eye. I'm not going to read all 30, but please check this book out from the library when we reopen so you can read all 30. I'm going to start with one called Skipping Rope Spell by John Agard. And I'll show you the picture first. Let's see, I'm trying to hold a place for all the poems I'm going to read, but I won't be able to do that. So I'll show you the picture. And you can see the poem, the words of the poem are swirls, to try to help you think about the way a jump rope moves around and around and around. But it makes it hard for me to read, so I'm going to give it a try. And while I'm reading, remember the words I'm reading are in a circle like this. Turn, rope, turn, don't trip my feet. Turn, rope, turn for my skipping feet. Turn, rope, turn round and round. Turn in the air, turn on the ground. One for your high, one for your low. Turn, rope, turn, not too fast, not too slow. And there's one more. Turn, rope, turn to the north, turn to the south. But please, rope, please don't make me out. If you're jumping rope and playing a game, if you mess up, then you're out. There is a concrete poem with jump roping children and words in swirls. The next one I'm going to read is called Popsicle by Joan Bransfield Graham. And you can see a picture of a person maybe selling popsicles. They're wearing an apron with pictures of popsicles on the apron. And the shape of the words in the poem are the shape of a popsicle. I'll read it to you. Popsicle, popsicle, tickle tongue fun. Lick sickle, stick sickle, please don't run. Drip sickle, slip sickle, melt melts tricky. Stop sickle, plop sickle, hand all sticky. Has that ever happened to you when you eat a popsicle? Does it get drippy and your hand gets sticky? The next one is called Sky Daydream by Robert Froman, and it is about some birds called crows. Can you see that? The shape of the words are shaped kind of like birds flying farther and farther away. And this poem starts at the bottom of the page and goes up, just like a bird might do. Once I saw some crows fly off into the sky. I wished that I could fly off with them. Bye-bye, crows. They flew away right off the page. The next one I'm going to read is called Balloon, and it's a poem told from the point of view of the balloon. It is by Colleen Thiboudeau, and the words are in the shape of a balloon on a string, and many children's hands reaching for the balloon. You might know that if you let go of a balloon that has helium in it, it might fly away. As big as ball, as round as sun, I tug and pull when you run, and when wind blows, I say politely, hold me tightly. Bye-bye, balloon, if you let go. And I think I have one more. Yes, one more called Giraffe. And by now you probably guessed the shape of the poem is going to be shaped like a giraffe. So it looks like the giraffe is in the zoo, and there are two people looking at the giraffe. But the giraffe is actually a poem full of words, so I'll read it to you. A giraffe is so tall, and his head is so far above his legs, he probably can't see his adorable toes or anything else below his knees and elbows. Do you think that's true? Do you think a giraffe cannot see his adorable toes or anything else below his knees or elbows? I wonder. Thank you for joining me for some concrete poems from this book, A Poke in the Eye, and I hope you will check it out sometime. Thanks for joining me again, and I will see you a few more times for National Poetry Month. Bye.